Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and the sojourners of truth. 144, chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from dimension number 5. It is hot up in here, meaning the frequencies are turned up in 5D. This is the aftermath of the Lionsgate. This is the aftermath of the halls of Amenti, of coming through this portal, this big transitioned portal that we just came through that had all these cosmic alignments just boom, boom, firing off into the cosmos, having a whole fireworks conglomerate up in the skies, in the ethers, in the realms of our minds and our souls as we move on our incline. And with that said, as usual, I bring you the news to infuse if you so choose to infuse with that light, the light that is on the light grid. And if not, you can always choose to refuse. But remember, be prepared. Be prepared. Like I just felt like I had to go into Lion King. Be prepared to be fried and on the grid. Ashe. So with that, let me get into this aftermath, because I know I said I was gonna take a break for probably like a whole week is what I felt like. But the information is just coming in so rapidly. I can't sit on some of it, right? There's some of it that is really like, we got to get into this, and I do want to. So I'm going to just go on one of the things that this is more speaking to the aftermath of where we going now. Like, where do we go from here? I'm hearing the song, where do we go? You know, baby, don't hurt me. I might be mixing songs, but that's how I'm hearing it. Right. And with that said, as I'm saying it, I'm like, I don't even feel like I'm looking at me, because this dude is like real short, little curly do. I did something different. So, I don't know. Let me know how you like the do. Getting ready to go to this wedding. I got a wedding to do with this dude. So we'll see how it go. Rocking it. It feels a little freeing. But with that said, because I'm like, this don't look like me, right? I know it might be, some of us might be feeling like this, right? This is maybe Ashe. This is maybe a word for some of us and the aftermath, after we've come out of the halls of Amenti, we may be looking at ourselves like, this don't really look like me. This don't really feel like me. You're not feeling like you, because you've shifted some paradigms. For those who have shifted, it's not for everybody, but it is for those chosen few of the chosen few, right? And we're being really, really sifted out. And it dawned on me today too that those who were in alignment, I was looking at those who came into alignment specifically. I'm going to say, even those of you who find this channel, you're in some type of alignment, because this is one of the few filtered through channels that's how I saw the trickle down, like coming out of in the spiritual realm, in the conscious realm. You have there's so many spiritual people, but they're being sifted out, right? Nothing good, bad, or anything. It's just those who are more inclined to the higher frequencies by divine truth, by true heart vibrations, by a true vibrational match. And that is how you cross the timelines. And what it was showing me is that these bigger, let's say, spiritual communities, they're kind of like trickling down, coming through. So those who are more smaller, like minds, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but this is how it was being shown to me. It's like you're coming into alignment where you're lining up with more, I don't want to say more true, but more who are in a energetic algorithm, if you will, that finds your divine coordinates for this particular alignment and assignment, especially those who have come across people that really took you deep into the halls of Amenti, aka Lionsgate. Mean you came in and you did work. You didn't just come out with a bag, with a miracle bag, holding out your miracle bag waiting for a fill up. You know, some people look at these dates and they're waiting for a spiritual fill up. You know, not calling out no shade. Everybody is right where they want to be, but I'm speaking to the ones of the ones, and you know who you are, the true chosen ones. You're not looking for a spiritual refill. You know, you're not out here going, can I get a refill? You out here like, it's time to shift. It's time to put this body down. It's time to have an ego death experience. It's time to knock something out. It's time to get up from this. And when I look at me, I'm seeing a whole different me. Ashe. And see, I know the guides. I see, like I done seen it twice already. I don't know who here that caught it, but if you caught it and you saw it twice, while I'm seeing it kind of move around twice. So if you caught it, you know what I'm talking about. you in alignment. All right, that's confirmation. But yes, you in the aftermath, you may be coming up and saying, well, this is not me. You may be feeling like you can't even, if you've been fasting, you can't even get back to the foods the way you would want to. And if you have, when you eat it, it feels like a heaviness on your body. I know, because I broke fast the 13th yesterday, right? The day after the 12th, after the second attunement that we did. I was like, all right, I'm ready to break fast. But then when you eat, and I didn't jump into anything too heavy, but when you eat, it's like, okay, these carbs sitting a little bit differently now. They're feeling a little heavy. So it's like, do we really want this anymore? You know, looking at the body in that way. But, you know, besides food, I really want to get into what's happening. Like, let me get into that, because I'll go into foods and that's a whole nother story. Just kind of look at how you're feeling and how you're sensing things. Your emotions are not the same. This is how you know you have traversed, when you've crossed over and you're not looking at the situations the same anymore. You're not in this world like that no more, right? In this world, not of it. You're not of this world. You're not of the material world. You're not of the demiurge, which is the creator of the material world. You're seeing things with such a different eye now. So the things that were bothering you before you went into this hallway, if you come out of this hallway, if you're coming out of the aftermath and you feel some type of way about a particular thing, if you feel the same way, let me put it to you this way, if you feel the same way you were feeling as you come out now, then you have not gone through in that way, put it that way. You have not breaking the illusion. You have not broken the illusion. And you have not found the distortion. So if you're still carrying some of the same feelings, and some may say, oh no, I'm over it. Like, I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing, because some may say, I'm not feeling the same, but you haven't truly processed it. And it's not a vibrational match in the ethers. This is where a lot of people are not understanding. You don't match up because there is something going on within where there is not a vibrational match. Whether you are consciously aware of it or not, you can say anything you want to say. But if it is not a true vibrational match, you do not get to cross into that next level. Let's call it the spiritual club, if you will, the ethers club, because it's not everybody is spiritual, is operating in that etheric realm, in the esoteric realm, in truth, in a certain way. They're not all vibrating on the love frequency, the unity frequency, in the fifth dimension, in that way. There are angles of light. So if you're still, you're on a different degree of light, if you're still seeing the situation the same, if you're still feeling it the same, you may say you don't see it the same, but it's still registering through your body the same way, because as it goes through your mind, it goes into your body keeps the score. The issues drop down in your tissues, and your body is going to hold that there for you, unbeknownst to you, until it's time to show it up. Because one of the things that I was looking at today too is we don't often realize when it's time to see what's happening, what's showing up in your body, until it shows up. Now, I wouldn't say I realize it. It's something that I know, but I was pondering on it again. And it comes when we as a people we hold things in our tissues, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and it's like, no, that's something that's been dropped in. And it hasn't been processed. You think you've been dealing with it, but you haven't. And if it's not processing, it's not moving through the body. It's not moving through the tissues. It's still being held in the memory cells in a particular way. And thank you, Spirit. That's what it was showing me, that who know better, do better. We were having a conversation today, and it was coming through like that. Who know better, do better. So if you know better and you don't do better according to what you are knowing, so those who are getting educated in the age of the knowing, but you're not changing, you're not reforming or transforming, you're not transcending, you will be held more accountable. Let's put it that way. It starts to show in your life, world, and affairs. Those issues in your tissues start to act up because you become more aware and you're activating something in your frequency. There's an incoherent vibration because it's like, I'm aware of this, but I'm not doing anything to change it. So it's like this clash in the frequencies within your own frequency. And it's like a bit of a trembling in your auric field, and it begins to speak speak to the cells, and then the cells act up, and it's like, okay, now we got an issue. Now it's going to show up in your body. So these are the things. So be careful in this aftermath. Be careful for those of you who really went in and got some knowledge about some things, but then you pull back. It's something that I always say when it comes to these high frequencies. It's like jumping on a high moving train. When you time jump, when you quantum leap, it's like jumping on a high moving train. But if you don't match what you know, and then you sit in doubt, you start to pull back a little. You're not moving forward to what you were shown. It's like jumping off that fast moving train, and someone will get hurt. That's what we have to look out for in the aftermath. And I'm not saying this for doom and gloom as usual. This is spiritual awareness of what to do next. What do we do in the aftermath? So look at the things that I'm telling you about the food. Look at the emotional intelligence. Look at your emotional stature. What is happening in the emotions? What are you letting go of, if you have in fact and in truth let go? Not by what you say, what you think, but how it's being felt in your emotional body. Who feels it, knows it. You have to allow yourself to feel it. And we're going to talk more about this unhealed nurturer, because that came up today as well. The unhealed nurturer is that feminine energy. Remember, this is what we unleashed in this process. I was saying that the essence of the divine feminine, the essence of Sophia, the wisdom, is arising. What they've tried to hold down, this is the divine feminine energy, and it's that wisdom. The wisdom that is that feminine energy is the subconscious mind. That means free your subconscious mind. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to see the feelings, to see what you're holding there. Because as long as there is an unhealed wound, there is the misappropriated masculine, aka the misappropriated ego. And because it, like I said, it's as simple as this. The ego is hardwired to protect. That's it. This is your conscious phase of mind. Okay, we're not talking about when you feel like being in your ego or not. See, people use this word ego loosely. I'm talking about tighten it up a little. I'm talking about looking at your consciousness and realizing that the conscious phase of mind is, in truth, your ego self, your personal self. Now, whether you choose to be a wise ego, aka a SAR, or you choose to be a misappropriated ego, aka set, that is the difference. How are you being in your ego? It's not to get rid of your ego. I always say that. But you do need to humbleize it. You do need to get rid of the misappropriated ego, so that what's left is your wise ego. If the ego is hardwired to protect, Let's just do the math. We talking about math right now, right? The aftermath. As I said, I should have said this earlier. The aftermath is the math that comes after. That means we here doing the math. 1 + 1 = 2. As we say in the islands, we're matzot the ting, matzitot. So if you do the math, very simple. If the ego is hardwired to protect, then what do we protect? But our unhealed wounds. So this journey, this part of the journey, especially going through the halls of Amenti, the 8-8 Lionsgate, was with retrograde Mercury and Chiron, taking you there. I'll take you there, willing to take you there. Now it's going direct. Not Chiron, but Mercury. So it's coming out with clarity. But let me say this before I go down what's coming out with clarity, is that the common 1 + 1 = 2 thing to look at, the common sense math, is that if the ego is hardwired to protect, then it is going to protect any unhealed wound. Unhealed wounds comes from what? Feelings, things that you have felt, pain that you perceive. That's what the ego protects, the pain that you perceive from the hurt that you received, which means it's something caught up in the feelings, which means it's in the emotions, the emotional body, the feminine energy, the subconscious mind. So when I say ego, I'm talking about your conscious phase of mind and how it interacts with your subconscious mind as the intuition, aka the wisdom, the feelings. This is why we need the healing. So coming out of this is things that I'm saying this. So in the aftermath, this is what we need to be on our P's and Q's and looking at. Where are your unhealed wounds? If you didn't get in and do none of this work, it's not too late to be looking at your soul. The sooner the better, because we got a road ahead of us these next couple of months. So you want to prepare yourself by any means necessary. Ashe? So look for that in the aftermath. There's some more that I'm going to be talking to you more about, because there, like I said, so much information is coming in and I want us to really have a concentrated look on some of these things. But right now what I'm getting is look at how you are being, how you're feeling. Do you feel, what's the word? Revitalized, as someone said today. Thank you. Shout out to Carrie. Do you feel revitalized? Do you feel exonerated? Do you feel the liberation, the freedom, because you truly have found the truth in your soul? You found the distortions. You found a way to be set free, so you're not looking at things in the same way. You're not looking at politics. You're not and none of this bothers you. I'm not saying these things out here in the world don't matter at all, because we are in this world, but it should not matter the same way that it used to. That's what should feel different. The angles of light have changed. The degree, it shouldn't matter to the degree that it did, because the degrees of light have changed. So yeah, yada, 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 this is going on. That's neither here nor there to me. That's an illusion. That's posing itself as a fear. That's the demiurge. And I am the risen light of Sophia, the wisdom. I am the light that is here to rematch with the Christ energy, the Sophia energy with the Christos energy. I'm here to have that sacred union. So anything else is neither here nor there. If you've had a relationship issue, if you've had a job issue, whatever it is, if you truly found that distortion and broke that illusion, then that part of your ego has been put to death. You've had your ego death experience, if that's how you've had the experience, because some people have seen it, but they chose to have a different relationship, if you will. They chose to relate to it differently. The question is, did you see it, face it, see it as a distortion, and then have that image be broken? That mirror should then shatter into pieces, because you realize it's an illusion and you have that power. You have all the power. This is something else we're going to talk about, the power to create, because they don't want you to know that you create. This is why the demiurge made sure it said that it is the creator. It wants you to believe that. And now as we go forward, as I say that, another part of us moving forward in the aftermath is to be so keen in your sense of discernment, which is the wisdom, that you see it everywhere. Leave no stone unturned. I don't care who it is, what it is. I don't care how nice they smile and see the opposition, see the demiurge, because it is to know the evil. This is what we came out of this with. Do you know evil? As we walk along our path, do you now know evil, that you can quicken yourself and you see it and you know not to give it room to breathe, because it is very desperate right now. That's one of the warnings. Let me give that warning, that I know one of the warnings I was getting is that this is very desperate energy that wants to grab back. Be careful, be mindful. I don't want to say be careful like you got to be scary fairies watching over your back. No, be mindful, be vigilant, and walk in true diligence with this light. Be responsible, able to respond in the light. Be accountable, able to account by character. Be able to account in the countenance of your character, who you are. Let nothing tarnish your name. And it's not about what people think about you. It's about truth. It's about the truth vibration on the authenticity, authenticating the grid, right? Or being a representation of true authenticity on the grid. Let me say it that way, because the grid is gritty. You ain't got to authenticate the grid, but we are responsible for being in our true authenticity. That helps with the vibratory field, that helps with the potency of the grid, that helps close those little seams, those little holes that those parasitic energy and those archons want to break through. So let nothing fall upon you and defame your character. You know how they talk about defamation of character? We got to have our own courts of courts. And let nothing defame your character. If you feel anything that is being put on you like fairy dust, sometimes you kind of feel it settling in like that. Like people will be talking to you and it's like, wait, hold up. And you kind of feel that what they're saying, you know it's not right. You know it's inauthentic. Do not let that slide. Cut it and nip it in the bud right then and there. You don't have to argue, but stop it, because words are spells. Do not let them speak and sprinkle little fairy dust on you. You say, excuse me, hold on right there. That I cannot agree to. That I cannot allow to be said. However you want to word it. Defamation of character. If you want to just say, hey, cancel, you don't even got to explain nothing. You could just walk away, clap your hands, brush it off. Cancel. Control, Alt, Delete. That's it. Or if it's in a business manner and you got to be diplomatic, then you do that. You say, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear, because I'm not listening. Because listening means I'm taking that in and I'm having some understanding. No, I hear what you're saying. However, that is not the truth of what it is. And let me state the truth. And they don't got to believe it. Your intention is not to make them believe it, but your intention is to be a statement of truth. Your intention is to be that representation of true authenticity, and that's what you're putting out in the energy field. You're not allowing that falsity to stitch its way and web its little web of lies around you to try to wrap you in some kind of web, because that's what they're doing. They're binding. We got to look at it like that. This is very serious now at this point in the aftermath. How are you going to behave in the aftermath? Because how you behave is what you be having. So what you be having. We responsible, chosen ones. You've been given some more, and to whom much is given, much is required. So we can't do what we did before. Don't mix that up. If you put down that old body and you're now walking more into your crystalline body after this activation transmission, then we got to move like that. We got to be like that. We got to walk like that. We got to talk like that. Or else it's a vibratory, it's incoherent, and you begin to regress or fall back, fall out of alignment, come around next time, wait till you go back around, go another time, but you're going to fall out of the alignment. So I say that so that we are really being diligent and vigilant, diligent and vigilance and discipline. That's all. Have self-discipline to continue the journey in this new light, in this new way. Ashe, ashe. So I'm gonna leave it there. Is there anything else I didn't say? Okay, calendars, 5D calendars. If you made it this far, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. If you don't have anything to say, leave some emojis. I'm going to catch up on my comments because I've been in the rest mode, y'all. So I'm going to catch up back in the comments. These past 2 days, after all that we've been doing, I just wanted to rest. So with that, I'm going to check back into those comments. So my apologies to those of you who may have been commenting. I'm not ignoring. I needed the rest. So I'm going to go back in and do that. If you're interested in the 5D calendars, get them at a 5D corner near you, which is where? At my email address at akilahtextri@gmail.com. Email me, let me know. I'm still working on the England mail out. So those of you who are in England, I think I got maybe about 2 or 3 of you. I did find a place, but it was a little difficult. So we're working on that. Bear with me. I'll contact who I need to contact because we just got out of this. So with that, we just got out of this portal. Anything else? I feel like there's something else. The root chakra workshop is coming up. I'll let you know when that is. It's a 3-day workshop, which reminds me, okay, thank you, Spirit. The next major workshop, if you didn't get through this portal, if you didn't get what you needed to get, I would strongly suggest looking into the next upcoming workshop with the next full moon. The next divine chakra moon workshop is in September. The last one was in June. Okay, so if you don't catch this one, I won't be doing it again until December. And you may really want to catch this one because of what is to come in November. In November, and I'll do a video on it, but in November, there's going to be a lot of retrogrades. There's going to be a lot. Let's look back at it, peeling back the layers, taking us all the way back to where we were a couple of months ago. It's very reflective of 6 months prior with the full moon time in that month. But it's not just about that. The retrogrades are going to be taking us back to cleaning out those karmic cycles. So some things really will be brought up, to help, of course, but some people are not going to see it as help. So to prepare us for that, I would strongly suggest those light bodies that want to strengthen their suit to definitely check in, tap into the workshop, email me about that upcoming workshop, and I can give you some information. We can start getting you registered from now. It's free registration, so go ahead and do it right now while you can, ASAP. And it will be, I don't like to say capped, but I'd like to keep a certain number. So if it's really for you, just in case more come in than regular with what's happening now, it may be more than the regular. So get in while you can. Email me as soon as possible so you can reserve your spot. And that'll be for next month in September. So I wanted to make sure I talk to you about that now while you can. So with that said, enjoy the journey. Life is sweet. Remember, life is a reflection of you. So these mirrors, although we are out of the halls, the mirrors just kind of fell back. They're giving you some breathing room, but the mirrors are still in effect. So be prepared to look at the truth in you. Ashe. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.